Before we jump straight to the point, what even is a national artist? A national artist is defined as an honorary title given to an individual who made a significant contribution in the artistic field. The order is administered on behalf of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts and the Cultural Center of the Philippines, and conferred by former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. under Proclamation number 1001 on April 2, 1972. A plethora of Philippine artists have received this title since the award's establishment. However, the artist that I'm going to be talking about in this video was known to pioneer modern Philippine architecture and is responsible for designing the White Cross Orphanage and Far Eastern University in Manila. Allow me to introduce you to Pablo Antonio, my paternal great-grand-uncle. Pablo Severo Antonio Sr. was born in Binondo, Manila on January 25, 1901 to Apolonio Antonio, a maestro de obras or master builder, painter, and sculptor, and Maria Severo, who was only 16 at the time he was born. He was the youngest out of 4 children, and 2 of them were his half-sisters. His mother died when he was 3 when she was in childbirth. At age 12, his father died at 72, and he and his siblings were orphaned. Soon he had to carry the burden of balancing work and his studies. He worked as a draftsman for the Bureau of Public Works and used his earnings to study at the Mapua Institute of Technology. He then left the Bureau of Public Works and became a draftsman for the Santa Clara Lumber and Construction Company. In 1927, the owner of the company that Antonio works at, Don Ramon Arevalo, provided for Antonio's scholarship at the University of London so that he could study there and later graduate in 1930 with a degree in architecture. The 1930s was the decade where Antonio's talent truly begins to shine. After he returned to the Philippines from a vacation in Europe, he began experimenting with Art Deco motifs for pre-war residences in Pasay City and New Manila. In 1932, Antonio became a registered architect after passing the licensure examination. The following year, he finished his first major work, the Ideal Theater, located at Rizal Avenue in Manila. That work soon cemented his reputation for designing cinemas during the golden age of film. Antonio became one of the first few architects to utilize concrete and steel to their fullest potential. Later that year, his popularity as the country's highly recommended architect spread like wildfire due to his 2 other popular works, the Far Eastern University founded by Nicanor Reyes Sr. and the White Cross Orphanage. He served as a member of the Board of Examiners for Architects from 1936 to 1937 and also taught at the University of Santo Tomas College of Architecture from 1938 to 1940. During that time, he married Marina del Rosario Reyes and they had 6 children together. Antonio continued to design buildings for FEU, residences, and theaters, and worked as an in-house architect during the Japanese occupation from 1942 to 1944, and after World War II, he decided to work on rehabilitation projects. In 1949, he built his family home in Pasay, which inspired the creation of the Manila Polo Club and the residence of the Mannings, the first house in Forbes Park, Makati, in the same year. He then served as the president of the Philippine Architect Society from 1942 to 1946, as a member once again of the Board of Examiners for Architects from 1945 to 1946, as a member together with Juan Nakpil on the board of the Philippine Institute of Architects from 1949 to 1950, and vice chairman of the Philippine Council of Architects, sponsored by the UNESCO Commission of the Philippines from 1956 to 1957. Antonio received many awards such as Architect of the Year from the Philippine Institute of Architects or PIA in 1952 and the National Award of Merit for Architecture granted by the Philippine government. On June 14, 1975, Antonio died of a heart attack at the age of 74 and was posthumously granted the title of National Artist of the Philippines in 1976. Despite not being directly related to him, judging by his hard work and creative spirit, I can honestly say that I don't just see him as my great-grand-uncle, but also a very significant figure in modern times. We wouldn't have intricately designed yet functional infrastructures without brilliant architects like him. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something from this video.